So, welcome everyone. Tonight what we're going to do is we are going to go through the business presentation, and the aim of the evening is that by the end of it you will feel confident in presenting this presentation to other people, and you'll have a thorough grasp of the compensation plan and will be able to answer questions on that. So if you have any questions along the way, please do ask. They often help everybody, not just yourself, and then we all learn more, and it's a great evening then. So I'm going to get started. So it's the presentation due 2016. I'm assuming there'll be a slightly updated one for tomorrow, the day after when the July one comes out. So we started in 2015, and in February when we launched with over 700 products, which is actually a record for a network marketing company. We now have over 1,700 products, which is increasing. We've established over 14,000 IBOs in 14 months, which is massive growth, and it's something that should excite everybody. And when we're presenting this to people, we can say, look, it is growing at such a rapid rate. You want to be in now before it takes off. We're opening new distribution centres in the UK, and we've got a vision to expand the business worldwide, starting with Europe soon. And again, the fact that we started in 2015 and we're a UK-based network marketing company are things to really point out and promote to new prospects, because both of those things joined together mean that we are able to get in at a ground floor level. There's only one or two other network marketing companies that have started in the UK prior to us, because usually by the time that you hear about a network marketing company, they're global, they're massive corporations with hundreds and thousands of business owners. And while 14,000 is an amazing amount in 14 months, it is still fairly small, and it's a great opportunity to get in now. So the company, there's an increasing number of IBOs. IBO stands for Independent Business Owner. And as you can see, in February 2015, there was 700, and now in April 2016, there was over 14,000, and this is increasing every day. And yeah, it's just a rapid rate of growth, and the chart shows it really well. And then after that, we've got increasing number of products. Again, this is steadily growing up, and this is increasing every day. Every time I click on and look at the shopping and click on new products, there are new products there. You can't get better than that. So again, that's something to share with prospects, that there's new products coming on all the time, and the ranges are also expanding. Product categories. So there's a whole range of product categories. Now what I do is I don't read out all of these when I'm showing this to a prospect. What I do is I pick a couple that I know will appeal to my prospect. So if I know they're into health and hygiene and fragrances and makeup, then I'll go for those. However, if they've got kids, then they're more likely to be interested in the baby and kids one, and the food and confectionery perhaps. So I don't spend too much time reading out all the different categories, but just pick a few that you know is going to pique their interest and stick with those. And then familiar big brands. So we've got a whole list again. I wouldn't read them all. I just pick a few that you know are going to appeal, and products which we already purchase. So again, this is another great one where you can say things like, these are reputable brands that we know and love. We don't need to sell these. We don't need to market these. These are things that people are going to buy anyway. We're not asking anyone to change what they buy, just where they buy them. And if people are already buying these, why would you not want to buy them through LTW and earn money from them? And we, sorry, I lost my train of thought then. And no, it's gone, no worries. And Then we go into price and points. So everything has a price and points value, and it's really clearly laid out on the website. You can't go wrong. But what I say on this page is, I say it's the accumulation of points that helps us earn money. It's really tempting to kind of go through it all and kind of start explaining how many you need to get active and how many you need to get qualified and this and that and this here, because you're starting to talk about the points. But you don't want to do that here, because that's all coming up further in the presentation, and it's much easier to explain that when you've got the slides in front of you. So like I say, I just say this is how things are laid out on the website, with a price and a points value. Price is what you pay, points is what you accumulate, and it's the accumulation of those points that earns us money. So what makes us different? Now this is where it kind of gets a bit more interesting. So traditional marketing goes from the manufacturer to the distributor, to the wholesalers, to the retailers, to us. Now, obviously, all of these people along the way need to make a profit. Not only that, but they've got overheads and costs like wages and building, electricity, so many things along the way. So you can see how the money is kind of being used up along the way. However, we go from manufacturer where possible to LTW to us. So just looking at those charts, you can see the difference, and you see the savings that are being made. But not only that, is we're not paying out on adverts. These retailers and even the wholesalers and distributors have to advertise for business. And if you think of something like Lidl's or Aldi, who are kind of relatively new traditional supermarkets in the UK, if you think about all the adverts that you've seen about them, like I like this one and I like this one too. I can't remember which one it is that does that, but having those on at primetime TV must have cost them millions and millions of pounds. I can't even imagine how much it cost. Now, the whole point of network marketing is we market through our networks. That's what it means, is we market through our networks. And now I'm sure that a lot of you know this already, but this is how to explain to prospects, is that, yeah, that is what network marketing is. We're marketing this company through our network, and we're essentially advertising for them, and so therefore they don't have to spend a penny on adverts. If you think of Avon, everybody knows Avon's name. They've never spent any money on adverts. And that means that the wages that they pay us, because some people can look at it and go, it's too good to be true, you can't earn that much money surely, and things like that. But actually, if you look at how much they're saving in comparison to what they spend on adverts, it's actually a really reasonable wage. It's probably definitely in their best interests to do it that way. And it's a great way, because they'd rather spend money on normal everyday people like us rather than big marketing companies. And so it makes a lot of business sense, does network marketing, and it's a great opportunity for us. So it works all around. So let's move on to how to get started. First is the registration fee, which is £35. That gives you a membership and license to train, an online web shop, which is updated and maintained by LTW, and a back office to run your business. Now, I always say that I had a company prior to LTW, and I got this set up, a similar web shop set up with a back office to run my business, and it cost over £2,000. And not only that, I had to then sit and input every single product myself, with description, with the pictures, with everything, and it cost me £2,000. So for me, £35, even if that was all I got, I'd say that was a massive bargain, because these things do cost money, and it's all updated and maintained by LTW. And as we know, we are getting a brand new website coming up, which I'm so excited about. And we've got some really great people working on it, and it's going to be amazing. So it's definitely worth that £35. And that £35 is a one-off fee. It's not an annual fee. And yeah, once you're active, you can just keep going. And then we also get documents and event information, dedicated customer service team, and training and personal development. Now, training and personal development, when you're recruiting somebody, you're obviously responsible for their training and personal development. But not only that, is we've got this great team that they can tap into, and I'm sure you've all got other teams as well. And there's WhatsApp groups, there's Facebook groups, there's so much support, and obviously this is all going to be on the YouTube channel that everybody can access. And so you don't have to come into this knowing about network marketing. I came in, I'd never been in network marketing before at all, and it means that anybody, it's open to anybody and everybody, because we'll help everybody every step of the way. And then, yes, we shall, how you get paid. Sorry, I skipped. So LTW single pool, the overriding residual income, team building bonus, and then there's also promotional free draws. To get paid, first you need to become active. Being active means that your shopping accumulates to a minimum of 100 points, and 100 points shopping costs a minimum of £165. And this 100 points has to be within one calendar month. So you can do it in lots of little shops if you want, or you can do it in one big 100-point shop. But it has to be within one calendar month for it to count as you being active. And you don't earn if you're not active. And you have to be active once every 90 days at least. But as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't go 90 days because I want to get paid every month. So I shop every month. And obviously the people that aren't necessarily haven't hit team building bonuses, being active has other benefits, as we'll go on to see. So it's always worth being active every month. And yeah, if you go longer than 90 days without being active, then you do become deregistered. And the 100-point shopping costs a minimum of £165, and that's usually on hamper. So LTW single pool. Every month, 2% of generated points will be placed in the LTW single pool. This will be shared equally with everyone who is in the pool, and you just need to be active for 3 consecutive months to be in the pool. You also need to be qualified to receive any bonuses or commissions. And now there isn't a slide for qualified. But qualified is where you have 2 direct people directly underneath you who are also active along with you, all within the same calendar month. And that means you're qualified, and then you're qualified for life. You don't need to hit that every month. Once it's done, it's done. And it doesn't matter whether you get qualified in the first, second, or third consecutive month when you're shopping. It can be in any of those 3, and you will still qualify for the LTW single pool. Now, in experience, this isn't a massive money earner. It's been about £30, but it's a really nice touch that everyone who is part of the company has the opportunity to share in the profits of the company. And it's just a nice kind of added bonus. Does anyone have any questions so far? No? Okay, I'll carry on. So next is overriding residual income. So you get paid for everyone who does shopping in your entire downline up to level 10. You get paid from the first 3 levels as soon as you're qualified. So on the top level is you, and you get 2% back for any of your shopping. So if you do 100 point shopping, as is kind of expected, you'd get £2 back. Now on the next level is up to 3 people, your 3 direct people, and you get 1% back from each of those 3 people, which added to your £2 is a total of £5. And now on the next level, you can have up to 9 people. So those 3 people all got 3 people. It's another 9 people. They all shopped. You got another 1% back. That'd be a total of £14. And again, those 9 people all got 3, for example. Then that's another 27 people. And if they all got did their 100-point shop, you'd end up with a total of £41. Now, these levels don't have to be full for you to earn from them. They can, and they might not be straight away. So say, for example, you had 2 people on level 1, and between them they had 5 people, and then between those 5 people they had say 10 people. That'd be 17 people, and then with your, so you'd get 1% back from all of those 17 people and your £2. So that'd be a total of £19. So you're earning up to level 3 because you've got people up to level 3, but you wouldn't get the total amount because they're not all full, which is fine. And that's great. So you'd get a total of £19. And then after that, once you shop for 3 consecutive months, you open up levels 4, 5, and 6. Now here you get 0.5% from each of these, and again this is based on everybody getting 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 all the way down, and everybody doing their 100-point shop. And if that were to happen, you'd get up to £81, £203, and £567 for levels 4, 5, and 6. And then after you've shopped for 6 consecutive months, you open up levels 7, 8, 9, and 10, and again you earn 0.5%, but the amount of people that you can potentially have on these levels is rather large, so the earnings go up to quite a considerable amount. So they're 1,600, 4,900, 14,000, 44,000. Now these are monthly amounts, and you'll earn these every month. And what I say to people is, the likelihood of you having 3 and 3 and 3 all the way down to level 10 and everybody doing their 100 points is pretty much slim to none. I'm not going to lie about it. But what I say to people is, imagine if it's only a quarter full. If it's only a quarter full, that's still £11,000 every single month, which I don't know about you, but that would be a life-changing amount of money for me. And that's only with a quarter full. So even if it was only an eighth full, but we'd hope for more than that. So like I say, it is unlikely that you'll get these full total amounts, especially on the further down levels, but the earning potentials are still really high. And this is your residual income. This isn't even the income that we're really working towards. We work on the team building bonuses, which we'll see in the next slides. This will happen automatically without us having to do anything for it. Does anyone have any questions about overriding residual income? No? If anybody thinks of anything, do just come in. It's not a problem at all. So, team building bonuses. You're active and you get your 3 directs, and then they get 1, and they get 1, and they get 1, and you have 200 points in each leg. That would make you a senior star distributor, or SSD, and would earn you £200 a month. Now, obviously, the benefit of hitting senior star distributor is that that £200 a month would easily cover your next month's shopping. So the shopping therefore never comes out of your pocket again, which is a massive bonus. Whether you're buying food or you're putting into a holiday, either one, getting those without having to pay out of your own bank account is amazing. And this is the neat and easy way of doing it. This is the ideal way of hitting SSD, is with 3 directs and them each having 1 each. So when you're prospecting, I always say it's great if you ask somebody, can you think of 3 people that might be interested in this? Now, usually everybody can think of 3 people just off the top of their head. Now, those people may or may not join in the end, but you can usually think of 3 people that might be interested. And now, and then you just have to say, well, you only need 3 people. And then if those 3 people only get 1 person each, which is not a big ask of them either, then that's you hitting Senior Star Distributor and you're hitting that first team building bonus. So it's a really manageable amount. Now, I think it's a good idea to encourage prospects to aim for this in their first or at least second month, because the sooner they earn, the more motivated they're going to be, and it's going to just kind of snowball and duplicate. However, having looked at the maths, we've done the maths, and even if you don't hit Senior Star Distributor until your 5th month, if you hit Senior Star Distributor, stay in your 5th month, and then eventually you'll hit Team Leader as well, if you keep shopping, you will you'll always earn back more than you've spent. So even if you don't hit it till month 5, you'll earn back more than you've spent out. And I don't know about you, but when I'm making an investment into business, the main aim is always to at least break even. And you will, as long as you hit this within the first 5 months, then you'll actually break even. And then after that, it'll all be profit. But not only that, you've got to remember that the money you're spending out, you're actually getting the products or the holiday or whatever you're buying. So it's not dead money. It's not just an investment into nothing. You're getting the products yourself as well. Now, as I said, this is the neat and easy, ideal way of hitting Senior Star Distributors, to have 3 active people as your direct and then to have 1 active person each. Now, life doesn't always work like that. Not everyone has this set up, but what you need is 200 points worth of shopping in all 3 of your legs. Now, these can come from anywhere. They can come from level 4, they can come from level 20. It really wouldn't matter. As long as there's 200 points in each of the 3 legs, you will hit Senior Star Distributor. And then after that, we've got Team Leader. And Team Leader earns £750 monthly. Now, for Team Leader, what you need is in 2 of your legs, you need somebody hitting Senior Star Distributor. So that's 2 people hitting that £200 a month bonus. So a minimum of 7 people. I'm just going to check. So somebody just asked if the 200 in each leg, it must include all your front line. If they've shopped, then their shopping would be counted as part of that 200. Now, if they didn't shop, then as long as that 200 was somewhere within that leg, that's not a problem. So it doesn't have to include your direct people. Yeah, so you need to be you need to hit qualification. Sorry, somebody's asking questions in the chat that I'm not sure if people are watching it. So somebody just asked, unless you're qualified. So yeah, you need to be qualified, which is to have 2 direct people below you to do their shop 1 time. And as long as that happens once, it doesn't matter again in the future. So the shopping can then come from anywhere. So you just need 2 of your directs to shop in 1 month. And then if the next month they didn't shop, but the shopping came from further below them, then that would be fine. I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure who it is because it just says iPad. Thanks, Paula. So back to team leader. Senior star distributor. So you need senior star distributor in 2 legs. So that's a minimum of 7 people if they're nice and neat and easy. And then in the 3rd leg, you need 800 points worth of shopping. So that's 8 people usually. And again, these senior star distributors don't have to be your direct people. Obviously, it's kind of easier if they are, but sometimes they're not. They come from further down. As long as you have that in 2 of your legs, then it doesn't matter whereabouts they are, and you will earn. And then after that is senior team leader, where you can earn £2,000 a month. So again, this has 2 people on team leader, and then 2,200 points in the 3rd leg. So that's 22 people in there. And then for team leader, it's a minimum of 23 people. And what I really like about this setup is that because we need people to be hitting senior star distributor all the time, because that moves the people above them up, and then that moves the people above them up, is nobody gets left behind. Because that's the ethos of the company, is that we are succeeding together. We work with each other, we help each other, and nobody gets left behind. And once people have kind of got a grasp of how this setup works, how you just need people to hit the previous bonus to move up a level, then you can just kind of skim through the next ones a bit quicker, because you don't need to kind of explain in detail every single step of the way. Because once they hit senior team leader, they should have a pretty good grasp of it, so they can figure it out themselves. So team director is 2 team leaders, 6,000 points, and that earns £5,000 monthly. Now people are hitting this in their 2nd month, which is amazing. And regional director is 1 team director for that one, and 2 legs of 8,000 points, and that earns £10,000 a month. And as I'm sure you're all aware, we've got someone in the company who hit this in 28 days. Now, when it's always good to share that story, but you've got to be careful that you don't sell it as easy money and something that we can all do. Now, I had no expectations of being able to hit that in 28 days, and would actually be breaking the DSA regulations if we told people that they should be able to expect that. But what I do say to people is, I say that the fact that somebody can hit this in 28 days says to me that this is a really manageable amount of people. It is doable, it is possible. And so for me and you, who, I don't know, and that person had a lot of network marketing experience, for people that don't, that it's still not out of the realms of possibilities. If somebody who does have experience can do it in 28 days, why can't I do it, say, in a year? And again, this is a life-changing amount of money, and I don't know any other job where you could start and within a year be looking at earning £10,000 monthly. And that's not including your overriding residual income or your single pool payment. So it could be double that, it could be triple that, depending on how much overriding residual you're getting. So, like I say, I don't know any other job where you can walk in and start earning that sort of money. And you could do it faster than that. If you work hard at it, then you can do it faster than that. But again, we've got to just be careful that we don't advertise it as easy money, because it's not. We work for our money, that's for sure. And then after that, there's regional president, which I think we've got 3 of now within the company, and then national president, which we haven't actually got any of yet. And then after that is diamond president. Now, some people find these higher amounts actually a bit off-putting. They kind of go, okay, yeah, 5,000, 10,000, that'd be good. Yeah, no, I can kind of get my head around that. But these higher amounts, these 25, 50,000 pounds a month, actually just blows some people's minds. They kind of go, no, right, I think it's a scam now. It's too much, too good to be true. And so if you think your prospect is like that, it's kind of worth kind of going through these ones a bit quicker than others. Whereas others, people see diamond president and go, amazing, this is what I want, that's what I'm going for, yes. And they get really motivated by it. And so if obviously you think your prospect is one of them, then you can spend a bit more time talking about how amazing it would be to be a diamond president and everything else. But if you think that they might be part of, you can say, these amounts are amazing, but I don't know about you, but I think they're a bit out of the kind of realms of possibilities for me. Like, I find it hard to imagine, don't you? Or something similar. Diamond president earns £50,000 a month, 1% of total points, a £100,000 car as a one-off, £500,000 house as a one-off. So you get those the first time you hit Diamond President. You don't get them every month, but you do get the others every month. And yeah, and obviously we haven't got national presidents yet, so Diamond Presidents are a little way off, but it'll be exciting when we get the first one. Does anyone have any questions about team building bonuses? No. So next is promotional free draws. So anyone who does their shopping by the 10th of the month so by the 10th of the month, you have to have done your 100-point shopping in one shop. For this one, you can't do it in little shops. To be in the promotional free draws, you have to do it in one shop. If you join after the 10th of the month, you have to do it on the day that you joined. Sorry, somebody's just asked a question. Once you're qualified as SSD, how many people have to shop under you to get your £200 a month? You need 6 people to shop every month, which is 2 people in each leg. And if you join or do your 100 points shopping on the day that you join before midnight, then you also got entered into it. Or you purchase a essential pack in May. So, and we're not in May, so we'll ignore that one. And you entered into a chance to win this brand new duster. And the draw is always done at the following regional event, national event, which is often at on the Sunday of the first Sunday of the month. Now, if you're shopping on the day that you join, you are limited to one of the £165 hampers, and that's because the DSA regulations say that you're only allowed to pay £200 into any new company that you join in your first week. But they count your £35 registration fee within that. So that only leaves you £165 to spend, and the only way to get £165, spend £165 to get your 100 points hamper, 100 points is to do it with a hamper. So if people want to be entered into this, then that's how they do it. But obviously, if people would rather wait the 7 days and buy other products, then they are more than welcome to, and they can always enter this draw the next following month. So this runs every month, and some of our lovely team members have won it, and there's Dave and Lisa Smith looking great. And then along with that, we also have the essential pack free draw. Sorry. And the essential pack is a juice pack, and it's got natural weight care juice, a natural energy booster, an aloe vera juice, and a natural immune booster. And this will give you a chance to win a 1-bedroom flat, a brand new 1-bedroom flat in Birmingham, in the prestigious landmark development Brierley Hill, Mary Hill, West Midlands. And it's great. So you can see it here. And this will be done when 2,500 packs have been sold. So if before they sell out you buy 5 packs, you get 5 entries. You buy 10, you get 10 entries. And for what you can win, I think a 1 in 2,500 chance or more, and depending on how many you buy, is pretty good odds. So that's quite an exciting one. And then these are important links. I'm just going to quickly check the chat. So it says, once you get qualified, you get paid on 3 levels. So once you've been active for 3 months, you get opened up to level 6. Yeah, that's right, Emmy. And then does anybody have any questions on anything at all, from anything really? Qualified, how to get qualified, how to get active, team building, overriding residual, anything at all? You can unmute yourselves if you do. No, shall I leave it there, Cameron? So somebody's asking, how do you persuade some people to get active right away? No, they won't benefit from the share pool if qualified.
I will come to that later on as soon as you finish.
Yeah, okay. Shall I finish there, Cameron?
Maybe people have a few more questions. Would you like to find out if anyone's got any more questions? We'll give them another 5 minutes for the questions.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, how do you persuade people to get active? So I often just suggest that is what we do. We register, we get active. It's just part of the course. We don't not get active. We don't think it's just what everybody should be doing, because that's how the business will grow, and you're leading by example. So if you join and you get active, then when you recruit people, you can say, I joined, I got active straight away, and they're more likely to follow suit. And also, you've got to think of the greater good at sometimes, because you being active is going to help your upline. And now if your upline hits their bonus, that is going to help them bring more people in. If they bring more people in, they're going to be able to help build your team. So even though you're not technically earning right away, there's a lot of benefits, but also you're building up your consecutive months shopping. So you'll be, I think we figured it out as about 1,500 or something, that for every month you take until you build up those consecutive months, that's money you're losing out on overriding residual income, those further levels, and also the single pool. So it's an investment, and yeah, you won't earn from the single pool until 3 months down the line, and if you're qualified, but it's all counting, it's all building up, and it's all worth it. So that's what, but I think the main thing is to be active yourself, so that then when you are prospecting, you can lead by example. I'm just going to keep looking through these questions. So you only need 2 active on each level from anywhere each month to guarantee your £200 bonus. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So you just need 2 people active anywhere. It doesn't matter what level they're on, just in each leg. So you've got 3 legs, and you just need 2 active people in each one to get your £200 bonus. So that's 2 people shopping. So Natalie's asked, to earn team leader at 750 people, £750, how many people is that? So it is 22 people in total. So you've got 7 people in each of the legs with SSD. So there's the person hitting SSD, and the 3 people and the 6 people shopping below them. So that's 7 people in total. 7 people in the next leg. And then in the third leg, you need 800 points worth of shopping. So that's 8 people. So that's 7, 14, 22 people. But then for the next one, you've got to take into account the fact that you need a team leader in each of your legs. So you actually need 23 people in each of your team leader legs for you to hit that qualification. You don't need 22. You need that one person above them actually hitting it as well. And yeah, so then it's 23, 23, and 22, so it's 69 people to hit 2,000. But obviously the idea is that you wouldn't necessarily have to recruit that many people yourself. The idea is that it gets duplicated. So you recruit 3 people and you help, not only you carry on recruiting, but they also start recruiting and they build their teams, and the people they recruit, they build their teams too. So this should kind of grow organically. It should be duplicating along the way. You shouldn't be kind of responsible for recruiting the kind of 359 people you need to hit £10,000. That shouldn't all be you having to recruit that many people. What you really want to be doing is getting people to duplicate and recruit themselves as well. Any other questions? These are really great questions. I think they're really helpful to everyone. So if anybody does have any others, don't worry about anything. Can we get images of these bonuses anywhere so that we can keep them? Well, you can download this presentation so you can look at them, but obviously they don't really have it drawn out. I can do some. I can draw some images of the bonuses out if that would be helpful to people. I'm very happy to do that, and I can post that out to everyone. Yeah, I shall do that this evening because it does help to have a visual at times, so I can do that. No, and you can fill them in with your people as you get them. Any other questions at all?
Thank you, Denise. Hi, Louise, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Cameron.
Hey, Louise. Sorry, I was speaking to someone else on the call as well. Louise, are you finished? You still got some time?
Yeah, I've got time, but I don't know if there's any more questions.
Awesome. If there are any more questions, guys, we have another 2 minutes with Louise, and I'll do a quick 5-10 minutes quick training, and then everyone is ready to go home. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them questions to Louise.
I think they might be done, Cameron. Do you want to go?
No problems. Thank you very much, guys, for being in this first PFN training call today. I want to recognize every single one of you for all the efforts, all the work that we have put on table. Thank you very much, Louise, to start this amazing training session. It's one of the best training sessions that we have started, and I can see we have nearly 50 people in this call. But as we all learned, the Zoom call, we cannot have over 50 people. There are so many other people who are trying to be, who were trying to be in that call. But from next week onwards, we're going to be having, from the next training onwards, we'll have bigger platforms where we can have a few hundred people. So it's going to grow massive. It's the first step that we have taken to make things better for our teams and to help a lot of people within the business itself. Now, Louise has done an absolute phenomenal job there. She's gone through the presentation. She's basically taught us how to do a presentation effectively. Now, I'm a strong believer when you're presenting a business, and this is it's not just me, it's proven fact. Then 80% of the, when you present a business, regardless of how good you are as a presenter, 80%, 80% of the information that you're going to give out, people will not get it in the first attempt. The reason people join you and the reason people will sign up with you is they will look at your body language, they look at your confidence, they look at the way you talk, they look at your enthusiasm. So now all these things we need to work on, and once we have all these things, honestly speaking, the information that we're giving out, it doesn't really make no difference. And it's only the 20% of the information that matters. 80% of the times, it's about the rest of the things which I've mentioned before. So we need to work on all them things, because that is something that's going to help us a lot to grow in this business. to be successful in this business. Now, I'll quickly cover a couple of things because these are a few things that a lot of people have been asking me in this journey. And in fact, everywhere I've traveled in the world, this problem occurred. Every single networker that I've spoken to, or all the new people who got involved with myself, or in the journey of network marketing, they've asked these few questions. Now, I mean, this is one of the most important questions that people have asked me. That Cameron, and most of the time it's the new distributors. They ask me this question. They say, Cameron, I just need to be a good closer. I'm good with everything else. I just can't close people. I'm not good with closing. Now, and sometimes, in fact, not sometimes, majority of the times, for the same people, when I ask them a question, when they say, Cameron, I just need to be a good closer, I ask them, great, well, then learn to be a good closer. We need to work on ourselves. But I'm just curious, let's say you said you want to be a good closer. I'm just curious. I just want to know that how many presentations do you do every week? And the new person is going to say, and this is the answer that I always get. In fact, 95% of the times I get this answer. They say, oh, not many. I'll say, okay, so I'll say maybe the closing is not your problem. Let's talk about other problems. Obviously, you said you don't do no presentations. So maybe let's talk about the things that you're struggling with. So the first one's a presentation. So if you can't present, if you're not doing a lot of presentations, that means the presentation is not a problem. Closing is not the problem. That means the problem is invitation. The problem is appointments. So how many appointments are you booking on a weekly basis? How many appointments do you have every single week? And again, 95% of the times the answer I get is, oh, not many. So I asked, then I tell them that actually the closing is not a problem, nor is a presentation, neither is the appointment. So I just want to know, I'm just kind of curious there, how many people you go out and speak to, how many invitations do you do? So maybe the problem is with invitations. So, and guess what? They say not many, because not many people now. In fact, there are 44 people on this call right now, and we know that how many people have we literally shared the information with since morning. And we all know, and I don't want no one to get back to me, and no one needs to answer this question, but we know that how many people do we speak to on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. So the problem is, I'll tell you, a lot of times people struggle, especially with the new IBOs, where the struggle is, instead of spending the entire week, this is what I tell them. Instead of spending your entire week looking for someone to give a presentation to, wouldn't it make more sense to learn some skills that you can spend all of your week giving presentations out? And that's the key, because we need to learn the skills that if we use them skills, using them skills, we can do a lot of presentations out there. And that's the key. And what we need to learn is we need to learn the basic words. We need to make it simple, because a lot of times why people don't take us seriously is because, let's say, if someone asks us a question, and this is what happens, someone want to know about us or someone want to know about our company, we trying to exaggerate, we start exaggerating things, or maybe we will start saying so many things like this. For example, I know a lot of people who, independent business owners, they'll say, oh, I'm a distributor for a wonderful company from a wonderful city, of wonderful London, started by Mr. Wonderful himself. He's a wonderful family man. He's a wonderful fax machine. And this company's got wonderful computers. This company's got wonderful printers. And this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So we start talking about the company so much, and people don't want to know a company. People want to know you as a person. And that is where a lot of times the things go wrong. And I also know some people, when they ask questions, sometimes what happens, for example, let's say you go to your sister's, let's say your sister invites you for a dinner, and you think this is the right time to present the business opportunity. And then again, you start presenting the business opportunity. Sister asks you a question about your business that you're doing, and you start basically to explain what this business is all about. And then some people will start using these kind of more like traditional entrepreneurial kind of words, which they're not supposed to use. For example, I'm in a global research of entrepreneurship talent who are looking for time freedom and financial freedom and et cetera, by creating a multiple streams of residual income and by leveraging the compounding the time and et cetera. Now, for the ordinary people out there, for the new people, they don't know all these things. And these are the things that we're not supposed to mention. And this is where majority of the times we go wrong. these are the things. Now, to get all this right, we just need to work on simple things. And honestly speaking, a lot of times people struggle to get new people on board because they don't know what to say, you know. And that's the reason, because sometimes when you go to a party, let's say you go to a party and you're not sure about what to say, and what simply happens is that you want to recruit people, but you start prejudging people. You will think like, that couple is just too good for this business. You know, that guy looks like he's not suitable. I don't like the kind of shoes he's wearing, so I'm not going to I'm not going to go and speak to this person. You know, that person looks really busy, so I don't think that person is suitable for this business. So the key is we need to use the right words, and if we use the right words, we'll be successful in this business, and we can get a lot of leads, and we can get a lot of people interested in the business. And I'll give you a simple example, and this is an example that I always share, you know, and this is the example that usually I share with my friends, because it's easier for them to understand this example, which is really simple. For example, I'll tell them, let's say, imagine if I'm single, which I am, but imagine if I'm single and I go to a party to meet some ladies in the hopes of getting a date, for example. By the way, I've got no intentions to do that. It's just an example. So if I start asking them questions like, so how old are you? How much, or maybe I can ask them a question saying, how much do you weigh? What color do you dye your hairs? Or I can ask them some dumb question saying like, are those your real teeth? Or maybe I can ask them something like, how much makeup do you need every morning? Or, so, are you pregnant? Now imagine if I'm asking them all these kind of questions, just let's say if I go and speak to 50 people, and I'm asking the same question to 50 ladies, I just want you to guess how many dates I'm going to get. And the answer is simple. I'm going to get 0 date. I'm going to get no dates. And guess what's going to happen? I'll come out of that party and I'll say, you know what? This party was rubbish. You know, there are no good prospects in this party. And in prospects mean there are no good ladies. Some of these ladies didn't even like men. Some, you know, and I just need to find a new party. Now, but just imagine if I go to a new party and if I use the same words over and over and over again, regardless of how many parties I go to, guess what? My results will be the same. I will never get a date. So it simply means we just need to use the right words. And if you use the right words, we'll be successful. And I'll give you one more example. Like imagine if I'm sitting with someone in a cafe or wherever, and if I'm using the following words, let's say if I tell that person, when I look into your eyes, your time stands still. The time stands still. Now that person will be like, whoa. But imagine if I say the same, exact the same thing in different words. If I say this to them, like for example, your face would stop a clock. Now that would make no sense, and obviously it's exactly the same words, but it's just the way we use them. So the most important thing for us to become successful in this business is we need to know that we're using the right words. And if we start using the right words, we'll be really successful in this business. Now, sorry, someone's put something in the chat. Okay, now let's talk about, I'm going to give you, because we'll be doing these Zoom call trainings on a weekly basis. We'll have 2 Zoom call trainings every week for all of you guys to help you guys. Now, I'll be giving you one formula every single Zoom call training that I come up to. Now, the first formula is a really, really simple formula. And it's a lot of times why people struggle is they try to make things too complicated. You know, we need to, this business is, this is what I always say. This business should be KISS. It's not like a kiss, but it simply means, KISS is KISS, which simply means keep it super simple. And that's exactly what we need to do. Now, the magic words, I want you guys to write these magic words down, because these are the words that help me to build my business. And these are the words that I use all the time to get maximum prospects in my business. Now, the magic words are following. Okay, if you guys are ready to write them down. Now, I always say this, that I just found out. How can we? I just found out. This is a magic. I just found out, and at the end, you can use an example. For example, let's say if I'm speaking to my sister, and I know my sister is struggling, so I'll be like, hey sis, I just found out how we can get an extra paycheck every month. If you would ever like to know, I would be glad to tell you more. Meanwhile, please pass me that remote. So what I'm doing over here is the way I'm trying to explain this is if we start using these kind of words, and if you start using these keywords, the keyword over here is I just found out. you know, when you say I just found out, I just want you to just kind of do experiment. When you see him with your spouse, or when you see him with your friends, or when you see him with your parents, and let's say you're seeing with your brother, and you tell your brother, you turn around and you tell your brother, do you know what, Eric? I just found out, and just stop there. Now, what's going to happen? That will create curiosity in that person's mind. So this is something I always say, that I just found out. You know, for example, if I'm speaking to, let's say if I'm speaking to Akmo, who is in London right now, in fact, who is in Birmingham right now, funny enough, he's in my flat today. Now, I'll be like, okay, Akmo, I just found out a way where we can get paid where I can help you to make, I can help you to get extra paycheck every single month. If you would like to know more, like I can say, like if you would ever like to know more, I would be glad. I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, let's go out. Meanwhile, pass me your mobile phone. So what I've done is I've kind of not pushed that person into it, but I've created a curiosity. And now if that person is, because that person wanna make extra income. So it's just the way we use the words, and this is one of the keywords that we need to use for us to be successful. Now, I just want you guys to try this word, you know, and if you start using this word, honestly, you will see a lot of results. You'll see massive results in your business, and you'll be very, very successful in your business. And it's one of the keys for us to be successful. Now, I'll give you a few examples here. Now, let's say if I'm speaking to someone, let's say if I'm speaking to Louise, I'll say, hey, Louise, I just found out how we can fire the boss and start our own business. If you would ever like to know how, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, let's go out on a coffee break. Now, that's if me and Louise are working together. Now, for example, I can say, hey, Mary, I've just found out how we can stay home with our children and still get paid full-time paycheck. If you would ever like to know how, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, let's take the children to the park. So what I've simply done is I've used the magic word I just found out, and then I've given a benefit for that person. And at the end, I've given them an easy exit as well, so that they don't have to be embarrassed to say no. So because 90% of the times when you explain this to the people would ask you, so how does it work? And you can I can carry on with the examples. I can say like, hey, Joe, I just found out how you can retire 5 years early at full pay. If you would ever like to know how, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, let's go back to work. You know, so there are different kind of words that we can use. There are different kind of scripts that we can use. You know, there are different scenarios that we can be in. If you're at work, you know, the main thing is you need to use the magic word, which is I just found out, and then that benefit for that person. And at the end, give them and tell them simple saying, if you would ever like to know how, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, let's go off our coffee. Meanwhile, pass me the remote. Meanwhile, please change the channel, whatever. You know, so the key is we need to use the right word, which is I just found out. And honestly, if you try this magic word with people out there, you'll see you will see like some massive results within your business. And if you start duplicating that within your team, you will see some massive results, not just in your business, but in the business of your organization, and you'll see some serious duplication in your team. Now, for example, if I'm traveling with someone, I would say, hey, Joe, I just found out how we never have to waste time commuting again. If you would ever like to know how, I'll be glad to tell you. And meanwhile, I can say whatever they're doing. For example, meanwhile, I hope you can get me a seat on the train. You know, or I can be like, hey, Mary, I just found out how. Let's say this is for if someone's an employee. I can say, hey, Mary, I just found out how secretaries can earn more money part-time than their bosses do full-time. If you ever want to know more, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, go back filling your nails, you know? So we can use different kind of scripts. The key is we need to use the magic word, and the magic word is, I just found out how government clerks can earn more money part-time than the mayor does full-time. Or I can say like, hi, Joe, I just found out how university students can earn more money part-time than their professors do full-time. If you would ever like to know how, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, go back to the playing video games and drinking beer or whatever they're doing, basically. You know. So the key is to use the magic word, which is I just found out. Now, all I want you guys to do is try these little scripts. Now, it depends what kind of person you're speaking to. If it's a professional person, you can use the same magic words saying, I just found out, and you put a benefit for that person. And at the end, tell them, if you would like to know, I would like to know more, I'll be glad to tell you about it. It's simple as that. And then give him, and then just talk about something else. And honestly speaking, if you do this, 95% of the times people will come around and say, okay, tell me about it. What is it about? How does it work? Yeah, there will be 5% of the times where people will ignore you. But again, they are not your prospects. You don't want to waste your time with them. And you want to speak to the people who are serious about the business. So the key is, I want you guys to write this down, and I want you guys to try it with a lot of people, and at least try this script with at least 10 people on a daily basis. Now, just imagine if you go to work, and let's say you speak to your friend, you speak to one of your friends who's a single mom. You can use a same script with that person, with that friend of yours. You can say, hey, Ellie, I just found out how you can make extra 200 pounds on a monthly basis by just staying at home and looking after your kids. If you would like to know more, I'll be glad to tell you. Meanwhile, what's your plan for today? And now automatically that person is going to come back to you and they'll ask you a question saying, oh, how does it work? Well, let's say if you go out with your mates, and if you go out and let's say any kind of, you can use, basically the main thing to use is the magic words. And if you use this magic word, I just found out, and add a benefit for that person. Now you need to find out what that person is looking for, give that person what they're looking for, and honestly at the end, just make it simple. We're not salespeople, we're not pushing anything, we're just answering simple questions for them. And honestly, because of that, you'll see massive results in your business. And now this is the formula number 1, and I want you guys to try this on a daily basis until the next meeting, and you will see some serious results. And I can guarantee you, if you try this, if you use the script and if you go out and speak to 10 or 15 people on a daily basis, I can literally guarantee you that literally by end of next 2-3 days, you'll have at least 10 to 12 people signed up in your team. So the key is to implement the information that you're going to get and start making educated decisions with the information that you're going to get. I'm going to hand it back to Louise. Thank you very much, guys, and have a great day. If you guys have any questions, we have another 2 minutes. Feel free to ask me them questions.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Cameron. That was great. It's a really great opener. I think it works well on everybody. And like you say, you can fit into all different situations. And as is being talked about in the chat, there's a great book called Icebreakers from Big Al, which you can get on Amazon. It's fairly cheap, I think. Along with that, I think both myself and Cameron would also reckon GoPro by Eric Worre, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. So if anyone does want to do any extra reading, those are the books to go to. Does anybody have any other questions?
Guys, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask us them questions. I think no questions. No problems, guys. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming, and yeah, I look forward to the other ones coming up. So make sure that you get on as many as you can, because being on means that you can ask the questions and really interact and take part and really get the best knowledge that you can. So do try and get on them, and yeah, and I look forward to them myself. So
thank you very much, guys, and let's make sure the next meeting that we have nearly 50 people in this call, so let's make sure we can get at least 3 people each. That will simply mean that we will have over 150 people in the call from us. So let's make sure we have maximum people on the next training Zoom call. This training Zoom call will also be available in a YouTube channel, which will be sent out to all the WhatsApp groups. So keep your eyes open for that. Catch you guys later. Thank you very much and have a great day.
You're welcome, everyone. Thank you.